haven't posted in absolutely ages. Had a bit of a hectic few months. I think everybody has had a hectic few months recently. In any case, today I'm back and I'm making a banana jelly. I don't know whether anybody will have had this. This is my own recipe, which stemmed from making banana chutney, which didn't work. I thought, you can have banana chutney, why can't you have a banana jelly? So this is the sweet version. This, like I said, is a jelly. So it means very easy at the beginning because you're just going to add all of your fruit. You're not going to do very much prep on it, you're just cutting it up. You're going to add it, water to it, you're going to leave it until it's broken down in the water, and then you're going to strain it through a muslin. I have a very large dish and a very large strainer to do this in. It might be a little bit difficult if you don't have those things. If you're planning on doing a lot of jam, I would definitely say invest in those two things. I have a stainless steel bowl which my strainer fits over absolutely beautifully. So a few things that I just want to mention before we actually get into the recipe. I am doing it slightly differently, so we're going to have an introduction like this, but it doesn't really help you if you can't see what's happening, which in my other videos you can't really see. So we decided, my sister and I, she's behind the camera, that it might be a better idea to have an intro and then to focus exactly on what I'm doing, make it a little bit easier for you perhaps. So that's one thing. I'm doubling this recipe. I am showing you how to do it, but I'll be showing you how to do a smaller version, which is a 1.5 pound of bananas and a 2 pound of cooking apples. You cannot substitute cooking apples for anything else because cooking apples contain pectin. They will set your jelly. Little tip, if you're having trouble setting your jams or your jellies, add a cooking apple. It will make it that much better. So you'll be doing the 1.5 pound plus the 2 pounds of apples, but I'm doubling it, so don't get confused. I will try to make it obvious as we go through. Another tip, just as we start off, the bananas, best if they're very, very ripe. We're talking banana bread ripe. Almost throw them away ripe. Wait for this, because this is when you want to use them, not before. Another trick that I do, this takes a 1.5 pounds of bananas, if that isn't a normal thing that you have lying around the house. If you are not someone who has that many bananas, when your bananas have gone ripe and you've only got one or you've got two and it's lying on the side and you're thinking, oh, maybe I should chuck it, whatever, just peel it, put it in a little baggie, put it in the in the freezer, it's very important. Then you can defrost them. It doesn't affect the flavour, it doesn't change anything, it just means that if you've got the bananas ready and you haven't got time, you can have it later on. Also works with banana bread, just saying. Finally, we will actually start making jam, or jelly, as the case may be. Okay, so we're going to start with the bananas. These are frozen, they're already prepared, and they can go straight into the pan. And you need about 2.5 pounds of banana to 2 pounds of cooking apples. It has to be cooking apples. Cooking apples have the pectin in them, that's what's going to make the jelly set. So I'm doing 3 pounds of bananas, which are ripe. And I've waited until this time of year because I have cooking apple tree in the garden. So I can do it all in one go. So that's my 3 pounds. You'll be doing a 1.5 pounds of bananas. Right, so now you want to do 2 pounds of cooking apples. You're going to leave them, I've just washed these. They've come off my tree and I've washed them. You are literally going to cut them. You're going to leave the core in, you're going to leave the skin on and everything. because you're going to strain this at a later date, so that goes in straight. It's a very easy and non-fussy jam to make. It's one of the things I really like about it. Okay, so we've done that now. Now we're going to add you're going to add to your 1.5 pound bananas and 2 pounds of cooking apples the juice of 3 lemons. I'm doing double, so I'm going to do 6.
You need a new knife.
Nope, this sounds like a...
I was going to say it's not a dishwasher. That's a forklift.
Okay, so I've just put the lemon juice in. I've also, you'll notice, put the pips in. As I said, you're going to be putting this through a jam cloth, so everything's going to be taken out. You're going to end up with a really beautiful clear jelly.
Cheeky bit of beetroot from the garden that you did earlier.
Okay, so to this you're going to add water for them to cook in. I'm just going to start this off, and I'm going to put in enough water to cover the fruit.
It's funny, normally you just don't add water, do you?
To jam, no.
Why is it this one?
Because you're relying on the pectin from the apples and the lemon to set the banana, but the banana has a lot of flavour, and because they're very ripe they also have a lot of sugar, so you use less sugar than you would in a normal recipe as well.
Ooh, hot.
Alright, so this is how your concoction should look once it's all cooked, and it should have this thick, sort of like, or maybe watery mash consistency. You've got rid of all of the lumps of, most of them. Just squish that. I'll pretend that didn't happen. And this is now ready to go through a cheesecloth. So let me show you. This is my setup, which I mentioned earlier. This is a cheesecloth. It's just a very nice loose weave, and I have it over a stainless steel bowl, which is rather large, and a strainer, a large sieve, which fits over the side so that I don't have to touch it.
I'm just going to pan to the dog. Hello, Jess. Hello. You're allowed to come in. Sorry, it was important.
Okay. Oh, I think we could probably put all of it in. There we go. And that will drain through, and you'll get liquid, which you may or may not be able to see underneath. Now, about halfway through this, the liquid will touch the sieve, and at that point it won't drain anymore, so I always wash this up and tip off the excess liquid once it's compressed a little bit. Alright, so this is what your liquid is going to look like after it's been strained, and remember this is a double batch that I'm doing, but you're going to put 2 pounds of sugar into your liquid. Now this is actually quite unusual, because you have 3.5 pounds of fruit, and usually when you make jam you do the same amount of sugar to fruit. but because the bananas are so sweet already, you only do 2 pounds to your 3.5 pounds of fruit. It's almost at once you can see that you get a much more syrupy texture to your liquid. Also, it changes colour at this point as well, and it seems to almost go clearer. Looks different the second that you put your sugar in. So what you want to do is you want to melt all that sugar away, and it will start to boil. You want to have it on I personally have it at a rolling boil, so nice and fast. Okay, so pretty certain it's ready to be done. This is the taste test that I was telling you about. This has been in the fridge, so it's nice and cold, and all you want to do is you just want to get a little bit and drop it on your plate. And once you've done that, you just put it in the fridge for a few seconds. Right, now if you touch this, there you can see that it forms a skin and it's turning jelly. That is perfect. It's still a little warm, but that's perfect. It's ready to go into the pots right now. It's a stainless steel jug like you would use for heating milk with your coffee machine, and I just use that. It's going to be a teeny bit messy, but I use that to fill my jars. And as you can see, the colour on it has changed and it looks beautiful now. You would never have thought it when you saw the grey that it started. It looks lovely now. Okay, so when you put the lid on, this is extremely hot. So your lid isn't going to be hot at the moment because you're just putting it on, but make sure you use something before you touch the glass. I like to flip these for about 15 minutes. Not too long, so you don't want them to have set, but if you flip this will create a really good seal, so you're not going to have any problems with mold. Okay, so I hope that was a clear enough tutorial. This is what you should have at the end. This is a £1/2 pound jar. It should be nice and clear and a beautiful colour. This probably lasts about 2 mornings. I said we were addicted to the stuff, it's terrible. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you try the recipe out. I would really love to know how it turns out if you do. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you come back for further video tutorials in the future. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.